Hayward Podworks. 100 shows, one vision.
Our sources explain it all. For more information on upcoming shows or to suggest shows, email brianhayward2026@gmail.com. And now let's get into our show. Hayward Podworks is vision, deep dives into any topic.
So, okay, let's jump in and unpack this really fundamental concept. The idea that what you think about most of the time is, well, what you end up becoming.
Right.
Today we're doing a deep dive into the Daily Affirmation Handbook, which is this really big guide designed to help you rewire that inner voice to attract, health, wealth, happiness, all of it.
And it's easy to dismiss this as like just another self-help trend. But the mechanics we're pulling out of this guide are really rooted in how the human mind actually works.
That's the mission, right?
Exactly. We're trying to move past just saying, think positive, and actually look at the machinery that lets these affirmations shift your reality.
And the source is really good at pointing out the uphill battle we're all facing from the very start.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just think about the world we live in. Your news feed, social media, all of it. It's built around drama, around negativity, because, let's be honest, bad news gets clicks.
It sells. And that constant stream of crisis messaging, it pushes our mindset into what the book calls survival rather than thrive mode.
That's a great way to put it.
Well, it's an ancient instinct, right? It's powerful. Biologically, we're programmed to hold on to negative memories. Mm-hmm. The things that hurt us or put us in danger.
It's for self-preservation.
Of course.
Yeah.
But in our modern world, that same instinct can just lock us into a cycle of fear and negativity.
Which brings us right back to that classic wisdom from Earl Nightingale. He said in The Strangest Secret, you become what you think about most of the time.
Exactly. And if we're constantly soaking our minds in all this external negativity, we're basically programming ourselves to fail, or at least to expect failure.
So the guide's point is we have to consciously stand guard at the doors of our thoughts.
That's the perfect phrase for it. And that leads us to the core mechanism here. We have to define what an affirmation really is. It's not just, a hopeful wish.
It's more than that.
Much more. It's a suggestion. It's a thought that you are consciously and repeatedly giving to yourself. And these thoughts, positive or negative, they feed directly into your subconscious.
And the subconscious is what determines your whole mental attitude.
It is.
But, okay, how does just repeating a phrase actually change anything in the real world? This is where I think you lose a lot of people. It starts to feel a bit abstract.
And that's where the neuroscience comes in and makes it concrete.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the subconscious for a second. The really fascinating thing is that your subconscious mind literally cannot tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one.
It can't.
Nope. It doesn't analyze. It doesn't judge. It just accepts the programming you give it.
So you're saying if I sit here and I mentally affirm that I'm the world's greatest marathon runner, even though I haven't run in 6 months.
Even if you haven't run in 6 months.
My subconscious accepts that.
Precisely. It accepts it as real. And when you consistently feed it these positive ideas, I am healthy, I am successful, it starts to accept them as established facts.
And then what happens?
It gets to work. It starts aligning your thoughts, your patterns, even your external actions to match that new reality you've given it. It's building a new framework based on your instructions.
Okay, let's connect that to the physical brain, because that's where the how really clicks for me. Our brain communicates with chemicals, right? They create electrical signals, which form neural connections for everything we think and do.
And you just described neuroplasticity. That's it, in action. Every single time you repeat an action, whether it's, swinging a golf club or repeating a thought,
you're strengthening a pathway in your brain.
You're strengthening that specific pathway. Think of it like walking across a grassy field. The first time, you barely leave a mark. But the 100th time,
there's a clear path.
There's a clear path. In your brain, repetition makes those connections stronger, faster, and more automatic. It basically rewires you.
But we're fighting against our own biology here. We mentioned that earlier. I've seen estimates of, over 60,000 thoughts a day?
At least. And most of them are just reruns from yesterday, or these default negative scripts that are rooted in that old survival fear.
So to build a new positive path, you have to consciously break the old ones. You have to literally choose to carve out new grooves in your brain.
It requires consistent positive choice. That's the only way to overcome the brain's default negativity bias.
And this isn't a new idea. I mean, the source reminds us of pioneers like Emile Coué, the psychologist, who was popularizing this way back in the early 20th century.
And the modern evidence just keeps piling up. There are studies showing students who use daily affirmations perform significantly better than their peers. Other research shows it helps people manage stress and anxiety.
The findings from psychologist Lisa Legault were really compelling to me. She noted that this practice boosts self-esteem and instills a powerful I can mindset.
Which is the foundation of everything else, really. Yeah. It's not magic. It's just programming through repetition.
So now that we get the why and the how, we have to talk about implementation because you can get the technique wrong.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And if you get it wrong, you just won't see the results.
Which is why the guide is so specific about the rules. And the biggest one, the most important one, is what it calls the I am rule.
This is the absolute non-negotiable. Your affirmations have to be in the present tense, I am. Not I want to be or I hope to be.
Why is that so critical?
Because when you say I am, you are forcing your subconscious to accept it as your current reality right now. You're taking immediate control of the pathway. If you say I will be, your brain just files it away as a future goal. It lacks that immediate power.
You have to bypass the someday blocker.
Exactly. And to make this new reality sink in even faster, the guide lays out a very specific 4-step journaling process. Step 1 is simple. Keep a journal with you and actually write your thoughts down.
And it really stresses writing by hand, not typing.
Yes, and this is so important for anyone listening. The physical act of writing, of your hand forming the letters, it integrates the thoughts so much more deeply into your subconscious. It's a stronger connection than just typing on a screen.
That makes a lot of sense. It slows you down. Okay, so step 2 is about self-awareness. Whenever you catch yourself thinking something negative, a worry about money, a criticism of yourself,
you write that exact thought down.
You capture it on paper.
You identify the trigger. And once you have it written down, step 3 is to immediately rebut it. Right underneath that negative thought, you rewrite it as a positive present tense I am statement.
And then step 4 is just repetition. Repeat that new positive thought over and over.
Yes. You're essentially catching that negative neural pathway in the act and immediately overwriting it. You're training your brain to find a different, better connection.
Now, beyond just writing it down, the guide recommends an enhancement technique, something called creative visualization.
This is like pouring fuel on the fire. It's a meditative process, and when you combine it with the affirmations, the results are, they're amplified massively.
So it's not enough to just think, I want to be successful.
No, you have to get granular. You need to relax, get into a quiet, peaceful state, and then mentally sketch out all the details of what you want.
And be specific.
Incredibly specific. If you want a new car, don't just picture a car. Picture the make, the model, the color. Imagine the smell of the leather, the feel of the steering wheel, and most important, how you feel driving it.
Those sensory details are what make it real for the subconscious.
They convince the subconscious that it's already happening. But, and this is key, belief is the engine for all of it. If you're visualizing success, but deep down you have this block telling you, I don't deserve this.
The programming won't stick.
It just won't. You have to truly believe it's possible for you.
Okay, so let's apply all this to the 4 big areas, the 4 pillars the handbook organizes everything around, starting with attracting health.
Right. And health can seem so complicated, but the source really boils it down to a simple starting point. A decision.
A decision to make small positive choices every single day.
And it gives that 3-week rule for habit formation, which I find fascinating. If you make those small choices consistently, taking the stairs, drinking more water for about 3 weeks,
they stop being hard decisions.
They stop feeling like a chore, and they become an automatic habit.
And we have to remember, health is holistic. It's not just the body. The book reminds us to strengthen the mind, too.
Absolutely. Nourish it with good books, with friends who lift you up, with new experiences. It's an internal diet as much as an external one.
So what are some of the affirmations for this?
Well, they reinforce that mind-body link. One of the best ones is, my healthy body is created by my healthy thoughts. Another is about action. I will dedicate 20-30 minutes a day for exercise.
And I love this simple one for self-love. I love my body. It takes me everywhere. It's not about changing it. It's about appreciating it right now.
Exactly. Okay, next pillar. Attracting wealth. The source is very clear on this. Most money blocks aren't about your skills or your job. They come from a negative relationship with money itself.
Scarcity messages we picked up as kids, maybe?
Often, yes. So the whole goal is to consciously build what it calls an abundance mindset.
It's a bit counterintuitive, but the idea is that money flows to people who already have a prosperity mindset. If you're always worried about losing money, you're just affirming a lack of it.
So instead, you use gratitude and abundance affirmations to, as the book puts it, lift your invisible money magnet.
I like that phrase. What are some of those affirmations?
They're designed to build a sense of confident expectation, like this one. Money is flowing to me in avalanches of abundance from unexpected sources.
See, that shifts your focus from worry to expectation.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
And this one redefines your identity. I am a money magnet, and money will always be attracted to me. It's not something you chase, it's something that is drawn to you.
There was another one I really like that reframes the power dynamic.
Money's my servant.
Yes. That one is so powerful. It puts you in control of your finances instead of feeling like you're controlled by them.
And you couple that with a purpose-driven one, like, I use my money to better my life and the lives of those around me. So it's not just about hoarding it.
It's a tool for good. Okay, third pillar, happiness.
Right, and the handbook defines happiness not as like a constant state of euphoria, but as a sustained feeling of contentment and well-being.
And the key is you don't wait for big events, a promotion, a vacation to be happy. You have to learn to find it in the small, everyday experiences.
And don't forget your physiology. The book reminds us that your body is always sending signals to your brain. If you slump your shoulders and frown, your brain gets a negative signal.
But the simple act of lifting your head and putting a smile on your face can actually help create a positive mindset.
It's that biofeedback loop. But what about when those negative thoughts just pop into your head? The guide is very clear about this. Don't try to fight them. Don't try to push them away.
Why not?
Because fighting them just gives them more power, more energy. The solution is awareness and acceptance.
So you notice the thought, like, there's that old worry again.
Exactly. You acknowledge it without judgment. You see it like a cloud passing in the sky, and you let it go. And then you can immediately replace it with a positive affirmation.
The affirmations for this really reinforce that sense of choice, like, happiness is my natural state of being.
That one claims it as your default setting. And there's a great gratitude one. I am grateful for every moment of every day because I know that it will never return.
That really grounds you in the present. And finally, there's the one about resilience. I can transform any negative into a positive, no matter what it is.
A claim of mastery.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the final pillar. Attracting success. And this might be the most important one.
Why is that?
Because society gives us all these easy-to-measure definitions of success. A certain job title, a certain amount of money. But if those don't align with your personal values, they can lead to real unhappiness.
So the first step is you have to define success for yourself. What does a successful life look like to you?
That personal definition is your foundation. And once you have it, the path to achieving it is about celebrating the small daily actions you take toward it. Those are, as the book says, the stuff in which your long-term dreams are made.
The guide also talks about a weird mental block. The fear of success, that little voice that says you don't deserve it, which can lead to self-sabotage.
So you have to build a mindset of deservingness. And the affirmations here really build that identity. For instance, I am proud of what I have achieved in my life.
That's about self-worth, not outside approval.
And this one defines your capability. Success comes effortlessly and easily to me because I excel in everything that I do. It helps you move past that hustle and struggle mindset.
And then, to tie it all together, back to the very beginning, my thoughts and beliefs create my reality, and I am the master of all my thoughts.
That's the ultimate one, isn't it? It puts all the power right back in your hands.
So this whole deep dive really shows that affirmations are so much more than just, wishful thinking. They're a practical daily tool for real change in your mind and your life.
And the keys are consistency. You have to keep practicing to strengthen those new pathways and intentionality. You have to use that present tense, that I am.
You really have a full toolkit here to rewrite your own story. You control your thoughts, which control your actions, and your actions create your reality. You can start right now.
And the source leaves us with this really powerful idea. It says, you have to truly believe that you are making a difference in your life and that you are powerful beyond your wildest dreams.
The science is there. The method is clear.
So we want to leave you with a final thought, a call to action, really. We've talked about these mental blocks we all have. So the question is, which specific negative thought, which deeply held block will you consciously identify and rewrite into a present tense I am statement today to start that shift in your own reality?
Hayward Podworks. 100 shows, one vision.
All right, this is Hayward Podworks, and that's today's episode. If this helped you, do me a favor, hit follow, leave a quick rating, and share it with one person who'd get value. Want the extras, links, and new drops? Check the show notes. Until next time, stay sharp, stay consistent, and keep building. Hayward Podworks. We'll talk soon.